Friends, you know what I love? A good old-fashioned fat flick. Not to be confused with a fat suit flick, like, you know, Shallow Hal, The Nutty Professor, Big Mama's House, or To Be Fat Like Me. Those are fun too, but this is a different category. I'm talking about actual fat flicks where, you know, the main character happens to be overweight and therefore being fat is their entire personality and subsequently the entire plot of the movie.
I'm fat, so you'll just date guys who like brownies.
By the way, I feel like I should clarify, just like for those in the back who don't know this, that according to the internet, the word fat is no longer like derogatory. It's not a bad word anymore. It's not a bad word according to Fat Talk.
Fat is not a bad word.
Fat is not a dirty word.
The word fat is a morally neutral description, just like tall or short.
It's not a bad word. It's a descriptor. I am a fat person.
I don't make the rules. Anyway, I get an absolute kick out of fat flicks for many reasons. Reason number one, they almost always suck.
Oh.
I don't know that I've ever seen a really good flick about maybe Precious, but that was about a lot of other stuff too, so I don't think that counts. And you can't say The Whale. You can't say The Whale because that was a fat suit flick. Make the distinction. Reason number two of liking fat flicks is because they're often relatable. You know, anybody who has struggled with their weight can kind of relate to like what the main character goes through to an extent.
Plus size shopping is a nightmare.
Until it gets really ridiculous and dramatic, of course. Reason number three that I like a fat flick is because I feel like they're a thing of the past. I don't feel like we make these movies anymore. So if you find an old VHS tape of a fat flick, it's like finding a little gold nugget, a little gold McDonald's chicken McNugget. You know what I mean? Why is that? Can we bring back fat flicks? I'll be the main character. I don't care. Well, friends, of all of the fat flicks that I have had the absolute pleasure of watching, I think I have found my favorite one. I found my favorite fat flick. Say that 5 times fast. And I found it because of all my lovely viewers who left me all of these comments. Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk about Queen Sized. The 2008 made-for-TV fat chick flick about an overweight girl named Maggie Baker who was elected homecoming queen by the mean girls in high school. And as you can imagine, fat things ensue. This movie is all of the things that we love. It's bizarre, it's miserable, it's stereotypical, cheesy, poorly edited, poorly acted, and stupid. It's very stupid. But it's also incredible, and I can't believe it's taken me this long to review this. Why didn't I ever know about it till right now? Or like a few weeks ago when I started working on this. I don't know, but I love it, and you guys are gonna get a kick out of Queen Sized. Starring Bowl Cut Billy, Reba McEntire's cousin, Poop Stain, Uggo Blouse, Uggo Sweater, General Uggo Clothing, Snacky Cakes, Cheesy Poofs, Killer Dance Moves, Alice Cooper, Lois Griffin, and the world's worst updo. So friends, put on your worstest, most ugliest shirt, grab all the snacks that exist in your house, and let us make fun of Queen Sized. Right after a quick word from a very exciting, very new, lovely sponsor.
And now a word from our sponsors.
Hey kids, coming at you from our beautiful vacation beach condo in Gulf Shores, Alabama to talk to you about today's lovely sponsor, Beam. This girl. How many of you out there have PMDD? Raise your hand. You guys know what PMDD is? I have it. It sucks. It's like PMS on steroids. It's like when PMS is way, way worse than PMS and you hate your life and everybody in your family and all your friends and your husband for like a week before your period. Right, babe?
Yeah.
Well, here's some good news. I was talking to my nutritionist about this, and she said, okay, you need to start taking some chasteberry. Do I know what chasteberry is? Absolutely not. But the good news is it is actually contained in this amazing supplement from Beam, and it is called Beam Glow. What is it, you may ask? Well, it is a hormone balancing compound for women that supports fluctuations in your metabolism, your immune system, collagen production, etc. It has chasteberry in it, which is very good for like PMS and stuff. It's got vitamin A, magnesium, manganese, bromelain. I used to take a bromelain supplement just for my vocal cords. It's in here, dude. It comes in several flavors. I got the blue raspberry flavor because obviously, and also I let my lovely mother-in-law try it this morning and she also loved it. Might even make a good like mixer.
Oh yeah.
Let's have it off with a little vodka.
And if I'm gonna glow and be wonderful, I'm definitely gonna do that.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere. And I promise you, it works. You will notice a difference if you start drinking. I mean, just start drinking it for all the benefits, but you will particularly notice how much calmer it makes you the week before your cycle starts. Take it from the most depressed person in the world, okay? So friends, if you are interested in checking anything out from Beam, you can head to shopbeam.com/Jaime35 and you will save up to 35% on your purchase. And if you want to do a subscription, you can actually save 35% off your first month and 20% off every month after that, with the option to pause or cancel at any time. You guys are gonna love it. You know, I don't talk about it on my channel here unless it is quite lovable. Thank you so much, Beam, for sponsoring a portion of today's video, keeping my family all glowing on our vacation, and supporting my channel. And now back to the show. Hey kids, we're back. So this movie opens just splendidly with a bunch of like camcordery, grainy shots of a high school football game. There's a Sum 41 song playing. And I was struck right away by this very like early 2000s swirly girly font. What is the name of this font? Does anybody know? Tell me in the comment section. Anyway, it turns out this is the homecoming game, and we immediately meet both our homecoming and main character, Maggie.
I'm the last girl you'd expect to see riding this float. I know what you're thinking. A fat high school homecoming queen?
Literally none of us were thinking that, but okay. For me, it was more like, oh my God, a 36-year-old homecoming queen? Not because Nikki Blonsky herself looked 36. She looks very much younger than that. But the way that they dressed her in this movie and the way they did her hair and makeup, girl, whoever was in charge of her look in this movie aged her by like 20 years. Case in point, this Uggo sweater they put her in for this next scene where she's touring a college.
I thought college would be like high school, another place where I'm just the fat girl.
Oh no, Maggie, not at all. They're not gonna just know you as the fat girl, okay? They're gonna know you as the girl who dresses like she's 73. Now, during this college tour, she obviously can't keep up with the rest of the crowd because fatties can't walk good. But more importantly, we get the first glimpse of her mom, who is a very big character in this. She's both Maggie's like biggest fan and harshest critic, you know? She can be seen here lovingly urging her daughter to pick up the pace and move her fat butt. Maggie, come on, you fat loser. So back at home, we get a glimpse into the family dynamic, okay? And we get to hear like the first of many mentions of the fact that Maggie and her family are poors.
Your college applications came. Great, now all I need are good grades and tuition money. We'll figure it out.
There's not a ton of money in the household, I guess because, you know, her mom's a widow. The dad died a few months prior. I actually don't remember how long ago it was, but he apparently didn't have life insurance. But what was weird to me is that they talk about being poor and penniless like every 5 seconds in this movie, to the point where I thought that like it was gonna change in the end, like they were gonna come into some money or something was gonna happen or something. And unless I missed it, and the 2 times that I watched this, I don't think this ever comes back, which would be normal if it was only mentioned once. But like I said, they mention it every 5 seconds.
I can't afford to have anybody in.
I've already taken out a second mortgage.
I'm fully aware of our money issues. How are we gonna afford all this?
We're stretched really thin here.
I thought she was gonna like get a scholarship or something, or like find a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, but alas, nothing. Anyway, Maggie walks in the kitchen to grab an egg roll when her mom confronts her with her secret snack trash stash.
Maggie? Crawling under my bed, Nancy Drew?
You want to talk about this?
Okay, wow, we're not wasting any time, are we? We're going straight for the stereotypical fat chick trope, which is that she eats constantly, all day long, only junk food, and hides all the trash in a pizza box under her bed, instead of throwing it in the garbage like a normal person.
37 seconds. That's how long it took you to call me fat.
So yeah, her mom, I would say that her mom's character is actually pretty accurate as far as like what I know about, you know, moms of daughters who struggle with their weights. It's a lot of underhanded comments, passive-aggressive comments. It's kind of like Pam Ham's mom. Remember Pam Ham's mom?
Don't you think those pants are a little too little for you?
Her mom's kind of toxic, and it's so bad that her brain has actually like created this imaginary version of her mom that's not real. It's like her mind's perception of her. It's like her brain's, how would I describe this? Her brain has created this imaginary version of her mom that's not real, but she pops in from time to time just to like insult her.
I bet they don't chafe when she runs.
You look good in that picture. But just look at you now.
And you think she has a single stretch mark? You're just too big, dear. You're just too big.
You're a loser. Boop.
It's like her mom's voice in her head, but materialized so that we, the audience, can see it. That's deep. I don't really know why I didn't like this imaginary mom thing. I think maybe because her mom was still around. Like it would have made more sense to me if it was like a deceased loved one or something from times past. And not only that, they didn't like make her, I don't know, see through. I feel like she should have been transparent or something. When imaginary mom is in the scene with real mom, I get confused. I just hadn't seen anything done like this before in a movie. And therefore, since I had never seen it before, I don't like it. Okay, so the next day at school, we meet some of our other supporting characters. We have Casey, which is Maggie's best friend. Casey, you know, has her back, defends her when the other kids make pig noises at her and stuff.
Hey, 3 fumbles last weekend.
Oh, you're breaking my heart.
Another day in paradise.
I'm sorry, did you guys hear that noise that kid made?
You're breaking my heart.
Another day in paradise. Another day in paradise.
Why he do that? That was almost as good as the know me from Purple Hearts. Purple Hearts.
No me.
So then we meet some other girls during gym class. So there's the popular girls. There's Tara, Liz, and I can't remember the other one's name.
And Camille.
And Tara, the cute blonde, she gets lumped into like the mean popular girls, but she's actually not mean and she's super nice. It's really just Liz and Camille. That's the girl's name, Camille. They are the ones that are really mean to poor little Magpie. They make fun of her, you know, like because she can't keep up in gym.
Yeah, let's go, Lardass.
God, it's always so below the belt. Like she might as well have been like, I hope you die in a fire. So after gym class, they're all changing in the locker room and Maggie like goes into the bathroom stall, you know, because she's very modest. She doesn't want the other girls looking at her body, etc. And actually for me, like this was accurate. I did the same thing in school. I didn't want the other girls to make fun of me because I had no boobies. So she's listening to the cool girls talk outside of the stall and we get a little bit more information, a little more backstory, character development, if you will.
You've been class princess last 3 years, no contest.
Oh, great. Would you look at that?
If you were any more perfect, you'd come shrink wrapped with a dream house.
First of all, why are you brushing your friend's already brushed hair? And also, what the hell is on the floor of this bathroom stall, dude? Did someone have like an accident? Ew, she's letting her shirt touch it. They really couldn't have shot this in a different stall. What is this? So Maggie has to go pick up her little brother named Will. Oopsie, who's that? Who's that in the reflection of that car? I think it's a camera guy. Camera guy. Now Maggie's little brother Will, I don't really know why he's there.
What's for dinner?
Cheese and rice, hopefully a different haircut. I think the purpose of his character is to show like how stressful Maggie's life is because her mom works all the time, so she always has to take care of her goofy little brother on top of doing schoolwork and, you know, eating snacky cakes and cheesy poofs. So it's a hard knock life. But there's no way around it. Maggie's mom has to work. They're poors.
You know, I'm running myself ragged, and I can't afford to have anybody in.
Believe me, I'm fully aware of our money issues.
Yeah, so are we. We are very aware. We know that you're poor and digging for pennies like Angelica's dad in that one episode of Rugrats.
My daddy's over there digging for pennies.
And then Maggie mows down a couple Little Debbie's cupcakes and goes to bed. I'm not gonna lie, dude. In 2008, I guarantee you there was a night where I too ate Little Debbie's cupcakes to that same Fergie song. I remember that song came out right after my high school boyfriend cheated on me, so there was probably a lot of like crying in Twinkie to Fergie. I guarantee you I smashed them, cried a bunch, washed my mom's cat poop in my closet, and then like left it there. 2008 was a great year for me. So the next day at school, those two boys that were making pig noises at Maggie invite her best friend Casey to a party that night.
Ryan's having sort of a pre-homecoming party tonight, so are you like free?
I'm down if you're down.
What is with this kid and making sounds? I don't know, but anyway, he doesn't want a fat girl to come to his party, right? Because ew, it'll kill the vibe. Yeah! But Maggie can't go to the party anyway because she has to babysit Will, who's being a real nuisance with a soccer ball. So she's at her wit's end. She's like, you know what? Between this soccer ball and this singular load of laundry, I am done. I'm out of here. And I'm leaving. So she calls a babysitter and asks if the babysitter can watch Will so that she can go to the party with Casey at the house of the guys who bully her and clearly didn't want her there. Cool. So Maggie and Casey go to the party in their silk blouse and turtleneck, as 16-year-olds do. And I was not prepared for how hard they actually party. Like, they are dancing so hard.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't know why, but I just did not expect those dance moves from Maggie's character. They're too intense. You know what I mean? That was so intense. I like the part where she does this.
Oh yeah.
I really like picturing what it actually probably sounded like on set, because I know that this fat beat they're playing in the background was absolutely not actually playing.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm going to tell you something.
Well, naturally, after all of that dancing, Maggie has to go over and stuff her face full of chips and salsa, right? Because that's what fats do at parties. We eat chips. Well, of course, as luck would have it, the mean girls walk over and they snap a photo of Maggie just as she's dribbling some salsa down her beautiful silk blouse.
Hey Maggie, say extra key.
Not my grandma Geraldine's silk blouse. So that night, the cool kids were kind of sitting around talking after the party about how, big of a fat loser Maggie is. And they come up with the bright idea to nominate her for homecoming queen as a joke.
Hey, we should nominate her.
Hey, we should nominate her. Why'd she say it weird?
Nominate her.
And I guess I don't completely understand their plan, right? Because this guy is like, hey, isn't that cruel? Like, it's cruel to nominate somebody as a joke. But then What's-Her-Tits is like, no, relax. They'll take her name off the ballot immediately.
Relax. We'll just put Maggie's name on the ballot as a joke. They'll take her off before the elections.
So then, which part of that plan is funny? Like, wouldn't it being on the ballot be like a good thing? I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something. So that night, Maggie is sitting and lamenting over the only singular photo she has of her dad in the entire house that we have to see multiple times. And it was kind of sad. Daddy was a fatty too. He got diabetes. He left us no money. And mommy can't afford to feed us.
You look like him. You've got his chins.
Wait, that was actually peak comedy for me.
You have such a pretty face. People always tell fat girls they have such a pretty face.
All right, real mom and transparent mom, let's give it a rest, okay? Although I can confirm that this is pretty accurate, and I've heard that sentence from at least one person every single day for the last, 27 years.
I think you just feel better about yourself if you try to get in shape and get healthy.
Just because Dad died of diabetes doesn't mean I'm doomed.
I know.
I want to listen, but I don't like what Maggie's doing to this picture of her daddy, okay? Put your finger away, magpie. Guys, this scene, while stupid, was actually really, really relatable to me. But I would have handled things a little bit differently than Maggie did. Mom, how come you're always telling me that you wish I looked more like Dad?
I think you just feel better about yourself.
Yeah, you're probably right. It's just it's hard to make this face. I keep trying to but I just can't. I just can't do it.
I don't understand why you won't try.
I am trying. Look. I can't get the neck.
I know.
The only way to get my neck like this would be to do a dangerous cosmetic procedure.
But the doctor did say you'd be fine.
Yeah, I just wish that I could get as many chins as him,
You look like him. You've got his chins.
Oh my God, thank you. Anyway, we're back, and Maggie has been jokingly nominated for homecoming queen.
What? Check the bulletin board.
And of course, the mean girls used that photo that they took of her dropping salsa on herself. B words, man. Couple of B words. Anyway, a few wicked cool Windows Movie Maker transitions later, and Maggie and Casey are eating lunch, eating their bread tangles of pizza or burger patty on bun, whatever it is. And Casey thinks Maggie needs to drop out of the race to avoid the humiliation, but the other students seem to be like super proud of Maggie and on board, and you can tell that they're really proud because of the way that they are.
It's like pie,
Way to go, Magpie.
Her mom also thinks she should drop out of the race because after all, fatties can't be homecoming queens.
You know, I think people have a very certain idea about what a homecoming queen is like. I don't want you to be hurt.
And Magpie's like, you know what? Screw all of you. I am gonna run for homecoming queen just because you think I won't. I'm gonna do it. Right after I go eat my feelings.
I'm going for ice cream.
So she goes for ice cream. This was kind of weird. She goes for ice cream, and at first there's like a regular worker behind the counter, but then the worker becomes her imaginary mom who, you know, obviously starts roasting her.
Why bother with the locale, darling?
But more importantly, she runs into this gal from school. I can't remember her name. Claire.
I'm Claire.
Claire.
Claire?
It's a fat girl's name. Learned that from Breakfast Club.
It's a fat girl's name.
Anyway, Claire thinks it's super cool that Maggie is running for homecoming queen.
I just want to say I think it's cool you're running.
Yeah, you're just like, you're such an inspiration. I've never seen a fat loser do anything interesting, you know? Most fatties just walk around the school hissing at people and dressing like they're 59 years old, but not you. Not you. You are on the ballot, kind of. Almost. Side note, I want Claire's ice cream cone, okay? Her gigantic, big enough for 2 grown men to share waffle cone. I'll have what she's having. Hey, do you want to go get Baskin Robbins?
Don't want to go get Baskin Robbins?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Maggie decides that she is going to go ahead and run for homecoming queen, but there's a difference between being nominated and being on the ballot, at least in this movie, at this school. So in order to officially get on the ballot, she has to garner 150 signatures from her peers, which is going to be tough, right? Because she's fat. Even the principal was like, whoa, I don't know. I've never seen a fat homecoming queen.
I'm still unclear on how you got on the ballot in the first place.
I think it would be best for you and best for the school if you dropped out of the race.
This is actually also pretty accurate. In my experience, teachers were bigger bullies than kids. I'm just saying, looking at you, Mr. So Maggie enlists the help of her bestie, Casey, and this other 34-year-old guy I forgot to tell you guys about. I don't remember his name. He's like the cute Hispanic guy that's teaching Maggie Spanish, and he likes her and caresses her face sometimes at awkward times. It's not important. They go around and they start getting signatures from people, and it's pretty boring until Maggie tries to get a signature from this fellow fatty goth girl.
I'm not interested. I think this whole underdog thing is really stupid.
Damn, okay. Tell me how I really feel.
Excuse me?
This whole champion of the little people thing you've got going.
I thought you, of all people, would understand.
Why? Because I, too, am of the lard-ass persuasion.
So Maggie ends up getting all 150 signatures, but alas, one of the popular girls steals the clipboard out of her locker, obviously to sabotage her, so she has to go cry outside and eat some Cheetos and chocolate in her 67-year-old aunt's frilly blouse. But it's no big deal because they just get the signatures for a second time, so... Thank God that part was in there.
That's not what you're wearing, is it?
For what?
Your homecoming queen photo. You're officially on the ballot.
Freaking finally, someone called her out for being the literal worst dressed person I've ever seen in my life. I would rather look at that hideous bathroom for model behavior for 24 straight hours than ever see this shirt again. Back at home, Maggie is lamenting over how hard it's going to be to find a homecoming dress because she's so fat and poor.
Okay, I'll fill out the damn applications, but I really need help with the dress.
Why don't you wear my superhero cape?
And maybe you could give us another take, you know? One where you don't regurgitate mashed potatoes, you little creep. Anyway, so the next day at school, they start the campaign. They're putting up campaign posters, and Maggie feels super inadequate because her posters were made with Elmer's glue and rose art crayons, and Tara paid a professional poster maker. So that combined with her imaginary mom showing up and insulting her.
You're fat, 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 fat.
She has no choice but to straight up leave the school and run home and violently eat ice cream. How many times so far has she fed her feelings in this movie? It's actually insane. I think this has Relative Happiness, Outbeat, and the Pam Ham short film that we talked about, and didn't we do another one? Shallow Hal. I think this takes the cake, pun intended.
You want to talk about this?
I'd like a medium Hawaiian pizza.
No.
We get it. Maggie feeds her feelings. We don't need to see it anymore. Oh my God, we're only 40 minutes into the movie. This is the longest movie ever. And so, in the most anticlimactic climax in movie history, Maggie is elected homecoming queen.
And finally, for homecoming queen, Maggie Baker.
And there's a lot of screaming. And a lot of hugging. And I personally thought and hoped that that was the end of this movie, but unfortunately, we're only halfway through. So because a fat girl winning homecoming is obviously a historical event, Maggie becomes like a local celebrity of sorts, and she starts getting interview requests from journalists and stuff.
What makes having a plus-size homecoming queen so threatening?
You can say fat.
See, guys, what I tell you. It's not a bad word anymore. This conversation with this journalist is so freaking weird. First of all, can you believe that the writers of this movie thought that a fat girl winning homecoming was literal news? It's news.
What makes having a fat queen so threatening?
Would a single journalist have showed up if Tara had won? I feel like the writers were just projecting all of like their insecurities all over this script.
Like just now, when I took a bite of the cookie, you were thinking, should she really be eating that?
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Are we kidding? Every chubby little girl watching this in 2008 who already had a fear of eating in public has now just had their worst fears confirmed by that line. Nobody cares if you eat a cookie in public, Maggie, okay? We're not judging you for that. We're judging you for your shirt.
Stop it.
Who did the costume design?
I know I'm not the type of girl that makes the boys come running.
Whoa! That was one word away from a very naughty sentence. So this article straight up gets printed in the local paper under the title, "An Unlikely Homecoming Queen." Oh my actual God. That reminds me of the article that came out in the Darman movie we reviewed in the short films video. You're never too big to go after your dreams. Oh my God, that's the title? Why is it news for a fat person to do things? I never thought I would see the day where multiple films exist in which a fat person doing things is news. I would love to see something like this on the news today. On that note, kids, let's take another short break. And when we come back, Battle of the Bulge. Hey kids, we're back. It's time for Battle of the Bulge. So the popular kids are very, very upset that Tara did not win homecoming queen. Even though Tara herself could like care less, it would seem, her best friend and her boyfriend are weirdly invested to her winning homecoming queen.
It's senior year. She won't get another chance to be queen.
Yeah, just wish I could fix it.
Yeah, I'm so sure that is what this 36-year-old teenage boy is worried about in his life right now, is whether or not his girlfriend wins homecoming queen. So they continue, even though it has already been announced that Maggie has won, these cool kids continue to do everything in their power to take the crown from her and get her to like back out of the race that she already won. So this guy, I can't remember his name. It's probably Topher or something. Oh, I think it's Trip. That's a popular guy named Trip. Trip straight up draws a blueprint of this like stage that they're building where Maggie's gonna be crowned. It's for like the homecoming float or something. I don't know what it is, but he sketches out a blueprint of it so that he can then plant a structural flaw inside of it so that it will collapse when Maggie steps on it and she will be harmed. Like Harm My Grandma. Anybody remember that from the Twilight bad lip reading?
Can you train a pig to do what? Like harm my grandpa and grandmama?
The way they build these things, this is gonna be so easy.
Wow, dude, wow. You're gonna risk this girl getting physically hurt bad because she won homecoming queen and you, a 40-year-old man, are bothered by it. I like when it goes over and like checks the integrity of the bars. He's like, yep, that's a problem. These bars, see, they're too strong. It's gonna take a lot more than a fat homecoming queen to bend these here bad boys. There's a couple scenes in this movie where the way they over-explain things is by using these two pairs of feet. It's these two girls that just gossip when they're in their toilet stalls while pooping, I guess. And they talk about and over-explain things so that both we, the audience, and the other characters can hear them.
I guess they figure it'll be so humiliating with everybody watching that Maggie will drop out or something.
It's super fun. So Casey overhears these two talking about the fact that the stage is going to collapse when she stands on it. How do they know about it? I don't know. I guess news travels fast.
It's only going right.
Yeah.
So Casey runs to tell Maggie that she's going to fall off the stage, but of course everything is just too frantic and too chaotic. And the gym teacher is like aggressively grabbing her and insisting that she climb up right just now, right that second.
Baker, come here. Now. Just be careful. Go. Be careful.
So all Casey has time to say is, be careful.
Go. Be careful. Get up. Just be careful.
You could have easily said, hey, stop, that stage is going to break when you step on it. But then again, if she had, then we wouldn't have this lovely scene. Put your teeth away. I love and cherish how 0 people standing there stop to help her. Everybody just laughs hysterically. And she just sits there looking from side to side like... Her expression looks more annoyed than it does like humiliated. Also, what even is going on right now? Is this like an assembly? Why are there only 12 students there? And why is there a cat?
Everyone was staring at me like, oh my god, she broke the flow.
Yep. Because that's what happened. It's like if I got on camera with a cherry ball up my nose, you guys would be like, oh my god, she has a cherry ball in her nose. So friends, if you thought the article in the newspaper was wild, then just wait till you hear this.
They want you to be on Good Morning Greenville.
That's right, guys. Maggie gets to be on Good Morning Greenfield, which I guess is like this movie's version of Good Morning America. All for being a fatty with a crown. The kids at school are so excited. They're talking to each other on their toy walkie-talkies. It's very exciting.
In spite of harsh bullying, including breaking into her locker to steal petition sheets and sabotaging the homecoming float.
Oh my god, wow. You guys, somehow the folks over at Good Morning Greenville got their hands on video footage of all these things that happened, even though there was nobody there recording them. Did they think we wouldn't notice this? You know what I wish? I wish they had worked in this whole time like an annoying kid with a camcorder. You know, like the annoying yearbook girl from Can't Hardly Wait.
Mike Dexter, you have to sign my yearbook.
There easily could have been an annoying camcorder kid to explain this, and trust me, those kids existed, okay? Because it was me. I was an annoying kid with a camcorder at school. Hey friends, it's several weeks later because movie reviews take a while. So where were we? Oh yes, the Good Morning Greenfield interview. So the host of Good Morning Greenfield does what every other character in this movie does and just roasts Maggie to death.
Now, Maggie, you're not what most people think of as the traditional homecoming queen.
You're not the typical homecoming queen because you're fat and poorly dressed.
Some people are calling you a role model.
I'm sorry, is that R-O-L-E or R-O-L-L? Because it could go either way. I like to think of myself as both a role model and a role model. So during this interview, it's supposed to be a good thing, but Maggie ends up taking everybody off because she kind of like takes full credit for this whole thing. And she completely throws all her friends who helped her under the bus.
When I first was nominated, nobody backed me up. Nobody believed that
So you were a one-woman army against these bullies.
You bet.
Wow. Way to throw your besties under the bus. Under the Honey Bunches of Oats bus. Well, friends, as you can imagine, the next day at school, Maggie expects to be the big girl on campus. But instead, she's just the big girl who nobody likes anymore. You know what? I don't like all the thumbs ups in this movie, okay? There's too many thumbs ups.
Aha! Mm-hmm.
Why is everybody in the school mad at her? This is just dawning on me because it was really only her 2 friends that she threw under the bus, right? So she has it out with her besties.
You're more than just a loser fat girl.
Wow. Such a good friend.
You're gonna go back to being the girl that has to tag along with me at parties because no one invited her.
Wow, dude. I've never reviewed a movie where I had so many urges to say, wow. What's the deal, dude? I mean, you give one interview on Good Morning Greenfield about being a fat homecoming queen, and suddenly all your friends want to hit you below the belt, right? in the vajayjay, you know what I mean?
You're just jealous because I'm famous. Yeah, right. Like I want to be the most famous fat girl in South Carolina.
Oh my God. Say what you will about this movie, I did not see that coming. You guys are seniors in high school, right? You can't push your friend into a bike. You're too old. You're old enough to know better. We don't resort to violence. Or at least I think I had grown out of violence at that age. I feel like the last time I like pushed someone out of anger was when I was like 2 years old, and it was probably my sister.
Well, Jamie, what do you want to do? You're mean.
I was really surprised by this. I never thought that our girl Maggie would assault someone, but then again, I also never thought that she would do this. So I guess she's just full of surprises. I love when Casey like turns around to look at Maggie and she's like, so Maggie gets suspended and she goes and cries in another poopy bathroom stall and all seems lost. Until, of course, we finally get to meet one of my favorite characters in the movie. And she's actually been in the movie this whole time, but I just keep forgetting to tell you about her. So Maggie's mom is like a youth counselor or something. I can't remember exactly what she does for a living, but she works with this wild and crazy gal.
Well, you look like crap on a cracker.
So she makes a few appearances in this movie and she's kind of just there to like give Maggie's mom advice from time to time or just say very deep, profound things in general.
My boobs are way bigger than hers.
And at this point in the movie, she finally gives Maggie's mom the old open-eyes magoo, which if you don't know what the open-eyes magoo is, it is defined as the moment in a movie when a character finally has their eyes opened by a lady with a red spiky Karen haircut.
I knew those children would be cruel to her. Sure. Because you're no different. You assumed that no one could look past her size because you can't look past it.
Way to go, unnamed supporting character. You tell her. And you know, guys, red-haired lady gets it, okay? Because she too has struggled with her weight.
For me, it's the bitch at the gym that stares at my thighs in the steam room.
I really like this actress's delivery. She's got the head movements down. Kind of reminds me of Jane Lynch. Agua con buble.
Agua con buble? Comprende?
You know what I mean? I feel like that kind of sounded like Jane Lynch. Well, friends, not only does flesh and blood mommy get told off, but so does imaginary transparent mommy.
Just stop it. Just stop it. I'm so sick of you.
Nothing is ever good enough for you. The whole world treats me like I'm worthless, but nobody treats me as worthless as you. Just go away.
Oh my God. Wow, you guys, you see? It was never, oh, wow. It was never Maggie's ghost mommy. It was always Maggie's own projections. That's deep. And a big mood. So this isn't really relevant to the story, but I liked this part because Maggie starts getting fan mail in the form of like videos that people send her via email. Just tons of messages from fellow fatties all around the world. And it's all people who heard her story and were inspired by it.
Hey Maggie, I read about you becoming homecoming queen. That's so cool. I'm a big girl too, as you could see, but now I don't care what the other kids say.
Partly because they're all 16 and I'm 37 years old. This is my favorite part of the whole movie, are these video messages.
Hey Maggie, I'm Hannah. Thanks for not giving up.
So then we find out that Maggie's mom talked to the principal and Maggie can still be homecoming queen if she wants.
I talked to the principal.
I talked to the principal.
Put that out of schools.
Like even though she physically assaulted somebody and got suspended for violence. So inspired by her new fans and their support, she decides, you know what? Yes, I'm gonna go ahead and do this crazy thing called being a fat homecoming queen. So she throws away all her snacky cakes and cheesy poofs. She apologizes to her friends. She apologizes to her mom, question mark?
I'm sorry.
About what?
All of it.
Shouldn't her mom be the one apologizing to her? She just got reamed by Reba's cousin for being a garbage parent, right? I feel like I'm missing something, but whatever. So then it's finally time to like get ready for homecoming. So Maggie's mom goes and books her an appointment at a salon.
My daughter has just been elected homecoming queen.
Is she the big girl?
The big girl.
And these people at the salon proceed to give Maggie the full-on glam treatment. I'm really sorry, but that has to be the actual ugliest updo that I've ever seen in my life. And that's coming from someone who was a stylist for 10 years and did really bad updos on people. That is the... I'm so confused at what I'm looking at. It's not even a... It's not even an updo. It's just a messy bun. That stylist really said, I could put it in a bun.
And I can put it in a bun.
Why didn't they do an actual like nice updo on her? It's half falling out and it's like off to the side. And it kind of looks identical to the way mine looks when I wake up every morning. Oh, and side note, this whole beauty treatment scene was the perfect time for Casey to show up and forgive Maggie for like the whole assault thing, you know? Also, they surprise her during this scene with a hideous royal blue dress.
We got you a fabulous dress.
And then it's finally time for homecoming. So then we get this weirdly long, chaotic fustercluck scene of like the homecoming football game. It kind of looks like it was filmed on an old JVC camcorder. They focus way too much on the football players for some reason, and they have nothing to do with this movie. But then finally Maggie floats up in her very ugly dress and is finally announced as homecoming queen.
Maggie Baker.
I don't know why, but I wasn't expecting that reaction from the crowd. I want to insert that guy from The Wedding Singer who's like, you suck! You suck! So Maggie gives her little speech and apologizes to everybody for being fat.
So if it's okay with you, I'm gonna hold my head up.
She says essentially nothing, and after a really long and awkward silence where this lady looks at the camera, Casey starts a slow clap. And then everyone cheers for the first fat homecoming queen. Oh, wait, I just got the title. How clever.
In the end, I didn't change the world, but I did change myself. I faced my fears, and I did it in a kick-ass dress.
Well, that's up for debate. There might be a question. There might be a question. Okay, friends, that is the end of that movie. Oh my God, this has to be the #1 longest movie review I've ever done. Like, this has to be longer than Uglies, right? Maybe even longer than Bring It On All or Nothing. I don't know. I felt like I couldn't ignore a single frame or scene. I had to talk about it all, even the side plots. Oh no, actually I didn't. I left out the whole entire side plot about Tara and the popular kids because it was boring. But seriously, I think that may have been the worst fat movie we've ever reviewed on this channel, and quite possibly the worst fat movie to ever exist. What say you? I couldn't find the budget because I think this was like a made-for-TV, like Hallmark Channel movie or something, but there are plenty of really good reviews. Let's check out this one. This one was kind of my fave. Horrible movie! 1 out of 10. I am so sick of these movies about fat people mad at the world because they cry about not fitting in as they stuff their fat faces with a non-stop smorgasbord throughout the whole movie. Jeez. That was the only funny part. The rest of the reviews kind of suck. So here's my personal review, okay? Very bad editing, like Windows Movie Maker level terrible editing. Bad cinematography, bad script, bad acting, very confusing message. Like, I know what they were going for, but I feel like they accidentally made a movie that did the opposite. Like, making it national news that a fat girl won homecoming queen, like, I guess was supposed to leave us inspired, but instead they just like shot themselves in the foot by making it national news in the first place. Fat people doing things isn't just news because they're fat while doing the things. You know, the things should also be interesting. I hated it, but at the same time, I absolutely loved writing this script and making these jokes. And so I kind of feel like this is a net positive. And maybe this movie review will be my magnum opus. Anyway, kids, I'm gonna go eat some snacky cakes and cheesy poofs. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and X if you want. I post funny stuff sometimes. Follow me over there if you want to see fat people doing things. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Yeah, I just wish I could, like, get as many...
I remember the day we got that dress, the day before your dad's funeral. You'd gone up a size and none of your clothes fit, and I got so mad at you.
Yeah, remember that? Remember when I thought that during your peak of grieving your father was a good time to lecture you about your dress size?
But that would be about the same time Britney Spears picks up a Nobel Prize.
They were still Britney shaming at this time. OMG.
Just give me a scoop of the chocolate peanut butter crunch and make it a double.
Hey, wait a minute! Maggie asked for a double scoop and they gave her a milkshake. Plot hole.
Busted. Better sign this.
How old is this dude that was just with a 16-year-old in a car? Because he looks 44 years old. You know what's actually crazy is that Maggie became a local celebrity before the Good Morning Greenfield interview.
I saw the article in the paper, been telling everyone you shop here.
Hey.
Literally famous around town for being a homecoming queen while fat. Cheer up, sleepy Jean. Oh, what can it mean to a daydream believer and a fat homecoming queen? Bars. God, this part's long, dude. And that is what she said. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Ow. That messed up my makeup. Oh my gosh, wait, did I ever tell you this story that I was once nominated? It wasn't homecoming, it was like Winter Formal Princess. It was like right when I started to go from like the chubby uggo to like a beautiful swan. I got a little cute. I had lost like 15 pounds, bleached my hair platinum blonde, and like spray tanned myself poopy orange. It was a super fun night because my boyfriend at the time was really mad that I had been nominated with my friend Andy and that we had to like have a dance together and take a photo together. So he followed me around the dance all night crying, but like, can you blame him? How good I looked. What were we talking about? Actually, the open eyes Magoo is from a dream I had. I had a dream that my eyes were open and my friend Missy threw a pillow at my open eye. And then like in my dream, I felt it. And she goes, oops, gave you the whole open eyes Magoo. And I've been saying it for like 26 years. Also, Bay makes a bunch of other cool stuff. We're on this family vacation right now, so it was a perfect opportunity for my nephews to try the kids all-in-one grains super powder, and they said it basically tasted like chocolate milk, which was incredible. Would you drink the whole thing?
Yeah.